Need everyone to understand that Donald Trump is not some brilliant political strategist. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's signing when an EO is in front of his face on his desk. He doesn't speak in complete sentences. This man is not curating the chaos that we're seeing. He's just the instrument that I think is being used to do so. And I think that the reason all of this happened is because he wanted to avoid going to prison for his 34 felonies, and other entities which saw an opportunity and have either really been wanting to get into the White House for decades or just saw an opening and an opportunity to get some great government contracts. Those people all came together and said, let's make this happen. And I think it's all going to come out. And these are my opinions. And it's all so interconnected and disgusting. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to all of it, but let's start with the Heritage Foundation, which has been seeding shit since the Reagan era, trying to get into the White House since the Reagan era. And they have republished Project 2025 time and time and time again under different names, obviously not 2025. And they've been trying to get a president to see it done. And that hasn't happened until now. Donald Trump may have said that he didn't know about Project 2025 or the Heritage Foundation, but a significant proportion of the EOs that he assigned are exactly aligned with the goals and the aim, like the individual aims of Project 2025. And he's also appointed several Heritage Foundation people to like positions of power. So that's part one. Then we have Palantir and Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is the founder of Palantir. Peter Thiel is also the primary mentor of JD Vance for like ever. And Palantir is like an AI surveillance system that had a contract in Israel. It was used in Israel so that they could target people easier. And now it's being used by ICE. And now at the same time, we're having legislation come up that's like basically legalizing a bunch of AI stuff. And everyone is like supporting AI, even though previously there was a lot of, we got to really like walk a fine line here about what's going to be okay about AI and what's not. But now everyone is like, oh, it's okay. Because like now Palantir has this contract with ICE and like, we shouldn't be surveilled. Like, and the don't tread on me people are being really fucking quiet for a body of people who are so anti being like spied on, who are so, I need my guns so that I can defend myself against a tyrannical government. And now they're supporting the tyrannical government and they're like down to be spied on by Palantir. But I think it's because like they think all of this is like Trump's doing, and he has such a loyal fucking fan base that like, I think choosing Trump to be the person to make all of this happen was so strategic for so many reasons. Obviously, Trump was going to be down for whatever if it kept him out of prison. And also he has such a loyal following that like, it would maybe be kind of believable if he won the election, and B, if he won or didn't win, like whatever, his MAGA people were going to come unfucking screwed, just like they did last time if he lost, right? Especially because he was going up against a Black woman, because these people are crazy and racist and bigoted and misogynistic and all of the above. Anyway, right? So that's some of the Peter Thiel and Palantir of it all. Then we have Elon Musk, who obviously is getting government contracts out the ass. This man, I swear to God, like thought he was going to do this and like take over the world because he was going to have X, the big social media platform, and he was going to have Starlink, which was going to be the internet, and he was going to have SpaceX replace NASA and something replace the FAA, and all the cars and military vehicles are going to be Tesla and electric. And I really think he thought like, okay, I'm going to contribute to this in whatever ways I can, technologically, financially, and then I'm going to get all these contracts out of it. So I think all of these entities came together behind the scenes, and I think that they said, Trump, we're going to get you in office. We're going to win this election for you by fraudulent election things. I don't care. Like, I think we've all been too afraid to actually say that as much as it should be being said, because we didn't want to sound like asshole hypocrites after being so pressed about January 6th and the election deniers of 2020. But we should be pressed about January 6th. And the election deniers of 2020 had no basis for their belief other than they just were unhappy with the results, right? So this is very different. And with what's coming out of Rockland County, for those who are unaware, in Rockland County, New York, discovery has been allowed by a judge. So now they're going to do a hand recount. But what prompted this was their discovery that in a county that went blue in the Senate race, supposedly there were 0 votes for Kamala Harris. 0. Not 0.1%, 0 votes, which is like statistically impossible. I would say it's so statistically improbable that it is, I feel comfortable saying it's statistically impossible, right? Also, him sweeping the swing states was so statistically improbable that that should have been a waving red flag from the get-go. And I think it was, but again, I think we were all like too afraid of like rocking the boat after spending forever like being like, you guys are fucking idiots for denying the election results. Like get over it. And now what's going on in Pennsylvania with the failure of the voting systems. There's so much that's finally being like really investigated. And I think it's the beginning of the end. And I do think that that's why all of this chaos is ensuing, but it's not Trump that is the mastermind. It's not Trump that's like, we're gonna call in the National Guard just so that I can declare martial law. Like, he is not pulling the strings. Like, he is not the brains behind this operation. He is, unfortunately, and I think it's like a lot scarier that this is the case. I think unfortunately he is being puppeteered by people who are much more intelligent and have a big, long, fucking scary plan, and who are much more evil. Peter Thiel literally doesn't think women should have the right to vote. He has said it time and time and time again. And now we have the SAVE Act, which just passed the House, and I think it's still in the Senate. But the SAVE Act basically makes it really difficult for married women to vote because you have to have an ID and a birth certificate that match. It also makes it really hard for immigrants. It makes it hard for a lot of people, but women in particular. It's just, and the fact that all of this stuff that's happening right now is related to ICE and immigration, and there's the Palantir piece of everything that's going on. It's so interconnected, and I feel like it's so obvious. It's like once you see the light, it's like red pill shit. Like, you just can't unsee it. And the more you think about it, the more you see connections with all of this stuff. And again, like, this kind of conspiracy is just what I think is happening. But the facts are the pieces that are like what's going on in Rockland County and Pennsylvania, et cetera. And I think that, I mean, also the facts are Peter Thiel is J.D. Vance's like primary mentor, and he doesn't think women should vote. The Heritage Foundation has been trying to get in the White House since the Reagan era. And now all of a sudden, all the EOs are exactly aligned with Project 2025. It's so obvious. And I think that California, Los Angeles, what's going on over there is like ground zero. I think it is where they are exercising their plan to see what they can get away with, going over the governor's head. I don't know if they're using Palantir or not, but I would imagine that they probably are, since it's been reported that ICE is either using it or is going to use it. And then Elon, we all know, like, got all of his government contracts already, but then when they had their big blow up breakup, he maybe was going to lose them, but now he's like apologizing. It's so childish. It's a bunch of like evil toddler men are running this country / the world, and it's repulsive. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because I think it is so scary. I think it's scarier that it's not Trump, and I think it's extra scary because all these MAGA people are in support of what's happening, even though it's not aligned with their fundamental beliefs at all. I don't even know if they know what those things are. Like, I don't know how well informed people are on why they believe what they believe, to be honest. And I think that the fact that they're supporting this because they think Trump's doing it, when I think Trump is just a puppet, because these other people Trojan horsed their way into the White House, and that they're secretly getting to operate behind the scenes and make shit happen that aligns with their agenda, corporate agenda, evil, fucking crazy white Christian nationalist agenda. It's crazy.